Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Frequently Asked Questions with Attorney Melbourne. The idea of this series is the Bankruptcy Edition, where we're going to break down bankruptcy, credit, and some of the most commonly asked questions that people have when it comes to bankruptcy. And so today's episode is no different than the others. Today, we're going to talk about, can I keep my car if I file bankruptcy? Honestly, this is one of the most common questions that I'm asked over and over and over and over, whether that is a client, a potential client, meaning someone that's interested in filing bankruptcy, or a current client that's still trying to figure out the answer to this question. The answer is going to be yes, yes, and yes. Now, I like to say that these videos are for education and for informational purposes only. And as you may know, the law is there's always exceptions to the rules. And that's the case. There's always going to be exceptions. But the majority of them is going to be the answer to that question is going to be yes. Why is that? I have a background where I represented car companies and finance companies when individuals filed bankruptcy before entering into filing bankruptcy on behalf of individuals or families. Understanding that, many of the car finance companies are interested in you keeping your car, but the question is, can you afford it? And that's always been the biggest question when it comes to bankruptcy. It's not can you simply keep the car, it's if you keep the car, can you afford it? And the answer to that question normally begins with what's the status of your account before you file bankruptcy? Are you 1 month behind, 2 months behind, 3 months behind? And then let's be honest, are you hiding the car? Putting it in places and different places and whatever. Okay. If we're there, then the question becomes the real true question is, can you actually afford the car? And you got to have that real conversation with yourself first, because a car company will work with you if you can afford to keep the car. So, for example, in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy case, if you plan on keeping the car, there's a document that can be filed with the bankruptcy court, and that document is called a reaffirmation agreement. Reaffirm, meaning continue. What is the goal? To continue the original contract that you already had signed with that finance company in order to keep your vehicle. However, they're going to ask you a couple of questions to confirm you can afford to keep that car. So, one, when you are looking at your income to expenses, in the bankruptcy petition, your income must be more than your expenses. If that number is a negative, the car company is going to question, can you keep your car? Two, they're going to look at, are you past due? And if you are past due for any amount, how soon can you bring the account current? If it's something you can bring current during the 90 days that you're in a Chapter 7 case, then they're likely to work with you. But let's be honest, if you're not able to, they're going to have some questions about, can you actually keep this car? Three, there's also a thing called, don't judge me because I'm working on fly, so whatever. You have the ability to redeem a vehicle in a Chapter 7. And so redeeming means, hey, I believe that my car note is this much and the value of the car is this much. Well, what does that mean? That means I owe more than the car is valued at. And if that's the case, I want to work out a deal with you, car company, to buy the car from you at the value of the car of what it is in real time and not how much I owe you. Now, that requires a court hearing and a couple of more steps, but it is something that can be done. So, understanding the answer to the question is yes, but you have to prove that you can afford to keep that vehicle. And specifically in Detroit, because it doesn't have the best metro system ever, car companies and even the court are willing to work with you, but you have to be open, honest, and be serious about, are you going to keep that car? Otherwise, you need to let that car go. I know that sounds crazy and that sounds bad. And it's like, what? I need my car. I get you. But bankruptcy is a positive thing. And one of that positive things is to get you back into the position or a better position financially than you were in at the time you filed. And if that car is going to become a hindrance because your car note is this enormous amount of money, you think you bought you a lemon, it got a high interest rate, all the jazz and bells and whistles, then maybe that's not the car for you to keep. maybe that gives you an opportunity to go and get a different car. And one of the things bankruptcy will allow you to do is return that vehicle, whether that's voluntary or involuntary surrender. We'll talk about that in another video. And you can surrender the vehicle. You do not owe the balance on the loan, and you can simply give the car back. There's no repo on your credit report because you have filed bankruptcy. So it gives you a clean slate to be able to go and buy a new car. Now, if you're looking at a Chapter 13, though, a Chapter 13 is a little different. A Chapter 13 will allow you to work out a payment plan, make arrangements with your car company, and still be able to keep your vehicle, whether that's a purchase vehicle or a lease. There's a way to do that in a Chapter 13. But at the end of the day, I want you to know, yes, you can keep your vehicle. This is Attorney Melbourne giving you some answers. If you have any questions, comments, send them to me. I'm willing to answer whatever you got and allow me to help you be more informed when you're making that decision. Take care.